the sights and sounds of earth. 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 The sights and sounds of
All right, everybody. Hello, good evening. My name's Ian. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on YouTube, the largest broadcast platform in the world. And we're on Starship Adventures channel, a channel I created 5 years ago to try to do something just a little bit different out here. And I think we're doing it right now. All right, this is the Sights and Sounds of Earth, the show dedicated to being an interactive multi-screen news program. Starting this week, I'm starting something a little new that I've been practicing with. We're going to play that song you just heard. I've got some other songs I'm going to mix in, and we're going to eventually do a rotation about every 40 minutes. About every 30 minutes or so, I'm going to hit that song, and then I'm going to hit the button to play the commercial. I'm going to try to take commercial breaks. Basically, I'll play the music for 3 minutes or so, and while the music's playing, I'm going to hit the execute button on the commercials. This is something YouTube allows creators to do now, is choose when we play the commercials. Now, I can't schedule them for a certain time or anything like that, but I have a button that basically is go. Roll the commercial now. So, rather than the commercial popping up at some random time during my monologue, I think it would be better to play the music every 30 minutes for 3 or 4 minutes, and while that music's playing, I'll hit that button. You guys can let the ads play through, and then we'll all join back and we'll start going again. No, I really didn't see any meteors. No, we had a lot of clouds. We had these like puffy clouds all through the whole sky. Also, I was gonna go live that night, and it didn't happen. We had some equipment problems and internet issues, and we were late getting back. Traffic was crazy. There was about 50 different things, but no, we had no view from there at all, from the Tampa area. Also, the city lights are really bright there. And even if we had a perfectly clear sky, I don't know how much we would have seen. Probably a few, for sure. Patience does pay off on stuff like that. But no, didn't get a whole lot this year. But that's all right. There's always a meteor shower right around the corner. They're not quite as rare as some of the other things out there. All right, so tonight on the big screen, we've got the Kilauea volcano in the center. She's angry, she's smoking, but she's not throwing any rocks up in the air right now. So we'll see how that goes. On the upper right, Portland, Los Angeles, ice protests. It's one of those things where they're making a big deal out of it. They're all calling it large ice protests, but all the views we have are people driving trying to find the ice protests. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to leave it on. We're going to see what happens. The only... I mean, and even the center left, right above me here, this one right here, that one there is supposed to be another large ice protest in L.A. And again, we're not. They're on the way, I guess. We're commuting. So anyway, we're gonna let that slide. We'll let that go for right now. We'll see what happens. Upper left, Skid Row, and just to remind everybody, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. We'll keep this on Skid Row tonight, and remind us about the great job that Governor Gavin Newsom has done for the great state of California. All right, and there you go. Let's see. That's about what we've got going on the big screen. Now, weather-wise, nothing. Dead. There is no weather anywhere. There's a few little things up in Seattle. I think we got some flood watches up there, and that's really about it. We do have some fire weather warnings out in the Denver area and Cheyenne and Pueblo, but there's really not much going on. There's some rain down in the Keys right now. It's raining in Key West, but truthfully, there is just not a lot going on right now. Here's the shot of South Florida. You can see that rain there moving in, and definitely raining on Marathon, Alamorada, Key West, and moving into Key Largo, moving into the Key West area next. And no big deal. It's what's left of that front that washed through. That's a washed out cold front now that's just sitting down there. And then, like I said, the only other thing we really have here is in Seattle. We do have this flood watch and a special weather statement, but that's it. Not really much to speak about here. So that's really all there is. Not a lot of weather stuff to talk about. Space weather, not a lot of space weather stuff to talk about either. I know it's crazy. It's kind of cool. I might take a little bit of an early night here. Hey, what's up, Eyes? Yeah, glad you stopped by. We are doing our nightly broadcast here. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. Let me go ahead and say welcome to everybody that's come in. Welcome, 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 everybody. Hello, this is the Sights and Sounds of Earth, broadcasting live from Southwest Florida over fiber optic all the way to the internet. It's nothing but glass, baby, nothing but glass. Broadcasting on YouTube worldwide, the largest broadcast platform, and broadcasting from Starship Studios, where we really try to take pride in what we produce here. And I'm glad you guys are here, and I hope you enjoy it. My name's Ian. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth, the channel Starship Adventures, our backup channel Starship After Dark. Make sure you subscribe to both, but only hit the notification bell on this one, because the other one will drive you nuts. This one only goes off when I go live, so this is the one you want to hit the subscribe button on. All right, so there you go. Normally I have cats in here. Daddy Kitty's out. He's doing better. I know I said he wasn't doing too well last time I spoke about him. As of yesterday, he seems to be doing much, much better now, and seems to be recovering from whatever it was he had. Mom Kitty is over in a box. Mama Bleep. She's literally in a box. I came home from the Ham Fest with a box that I had all my stuff in, and I sat it over there and took all the stuff out, and that is now her box. So I have transferred ownership of the box. All right, so hey, what's up, Heath? How's it going? It's freezing in South Carolina. Yeah. Yeah, the weather's beautiful there, but you do have to endure some cold nights. Hey, Terry, how you guys doing? Thanks for coming in. All right, so that's what we're watching. We're watching people trying to find protests. I know that's crazy, but that's literally what we're watching. We're watching people that are supposedly walking to protests, driving to protests, riding to protests. But I have a funny feeling they're not going to find any protests. Oh, that episode, the episode of Star Trek The Next Generation is on H&I right now, where Picard and Wesley and that guy from another planet get stuck down on there, and it's a desert planet, and they can't get to the water because there's like that force field there. You remember that? It was like Wesley's last mission type of thing before he went off to the academy. Anyway, great episode, and the reason I like it best is because the guy that plays the alien in it, the shuttle driver for the planet that's flying them down, gets stuck with him, and that guy is the guy that played Alan Carter on the original Space 1999, both season 1 and season 2. My favorite character from the show, by the way. I loved Alan Carter. He was the best. Captain Carter. He was like the guy that flew the Eagles, you know. Anyway, he played the alien in that. Go back and look it up. It's fun fact. All right, so I'm trying to see. It's a scant night for stuff going on, guys. So for tonight, even the electromagnetic field has calmed down. I remember we were so busy last week. Well, K index of 1, so we've got a calm electromagnetic field. However, it's not energized very far. Solar flux index only 118, so a low solar flux, but a calm electromagnetic field. So chances are you could probably make some decent contacts tonight. According to this, overnight tonight, 80 through 20 are open. All right, so there we go, and we have a very quiet electromagnetic field. Currently, no muff report from Boulder, and a low signal to noise ratio tonight, which is nice. All right, so there you go. We'll leave that right where it is. That's your solar weather report. Checking. Now, I do want to mention I am going to go in depth on this. The FCC has released a little more bandwidth to ham radio operators. It's 60 megahertz band. I'm sorry, the 60 meters band. It's they're basically allowing us to transmit now between 5351.5 and 5366.5. It's a new swath. And unlike the other swath in 60 meters, this one's not channelized. You can VFO it. No, Heath, nope. I don't know what we're going to do. We actually took apart, Joseph took apart the original mount that I bought up there, and we replaced that piece of wire that was bad. We actually just shortened the wire, and he soldered it back in. He's good at stuff like that. And we put that back on the car, and it had a high SWR as well. And I don't know, we tested the ham sticks. We tested all the ham sticks on his on his analyzer, and they're all fine. There was the 20. We reset the. I think we reset the aerial on the 20. Everything else was fine, and that's because it was loose and it got pulled or pushed, whatever. But the ham sticks are all fine. They all test out okay. Plus, my Tar Heel, we put it on there. It won't tune the shit. We put it over on his truck, on top of his truck. Same radio, but we put it on his truck and his power system on the truck, and it does a lot better. Still not perfect, but better. So then he gave me his, what's that freaking thing called? ATOS. He gave me his ATAS Yaesu antenna to borrow, and another quad magnet that he had that actually used to be mine. We trade stuff back and forth, and I got that up on the roof now, and it works okay. I'm getting crap performance out of it, but I take my radio and put it in his truck and hook it up to his antenna that's mounted to his roof in his truck. We can hear everybody. It's like crazy. We're making contacts like crazy. So I don't know what it is. It's something to do with my car, maybe? I don't know. I'm having all kinds of trouble. I know I got a Tar Heel, I got an ATOS, and I've got a five or six ham sticks, and I'm still antenna challenged. As far as the rig control, he hooked it up to his laptop and it worked fine. That happens to me all the time. When I hook it back up to my laptop, it will not work. What we realized was if we turn off the rig control, it works. So we can either have rig control or you can have transmit into the radio. That's it. You can't have both on my computers. So in the next coming days, I'm going to try to install that on another computer over here. And I'm going to see if I can find one of the computers in here that can handle both rig control and the audio in and the audio out all at the same time. I don't know what it is. We are pretty convinced that there's nothing wrong with the radio. So I'm letting HRO know that I think we're okay, but stand by. I've still got about 40 days on the return deal. Because I was going to return it, but we hook it up to certain computers, works fine. It's not the radio's fault. It's something here. It's something with these computers. It's Microsoft. It's Bill Gates' fault. Yeah. Yeah, so that's where we're at with that. We've got the FT8 working. If I turn off rig control and just go to Vox control, I can do FT8 and it works. So we're getting close. I also can run the sound through my DEN port in the back, and I already have the cable. I just haven't tried it yet. So I've got two options on the table right now. Putting it in another computer, finding one that works. Option number 2, running the DEN cable into the back and running the audio in instead of USB, running it DEN. I can do that. And then, of course, the third option is to just run it without rig control. Yeah, Heath, I do too in a way. But the more I looked into those, they would not have worked for any of my broadcast needs. However, they would have made a great amateur radio computer for FT8, programming portables and radios, for putting in POTA software and shit like that. They would have been great. But for broadcasting, they would not have been because of the limitations with the graphics system and the internal bus rates, and just the fact that it's not built for anything like that. It's built to be a mobile data terminal, basically. But I wish I would have bought one. Oh, and Heath, guess what? This Hamfest I went to in Tampa, It was just slightly smaller than the one in Atlanta, but it was still really good. Um, it was an ARRL Hamfest, right? An ARRL Hamfest. And it was sponsored by the section manager to ARR. I walked around that thing 3 times, never saw an ARRL table. I never saw an ARRL representative. I never saw anybody wearing an ARRL t-shirt. I saw people wearing POTA shit everywhere. I saw people wearing ham radio shirts and POTA name tags and POTA t-shirts and all kinds of shirts about, I lie to my wife about how much my radio costs and all the usual bullshit you see at Hamfest. I didn't see anything for an ARRL. It's almost like they are really fading from existence. And it's funny because it literally lists in their things that they're going to do. They're going to have an ARRL representative on site that can answer any of your questions. Well, as you know, I had some questions for the guy. I really did. I had some really important questions, but there was no one there to answer them. Just like at the Atlanta Hamfest, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, ARRL's gone, table's empty, doesn't come back the next day. It's ridiculous. I just think that the ARRL should be more involved in stuff, especially considering that they're the ones supposed to be sponsoring it. And it doesn't seem like they're really taking that role all that seriously. Anyway, but I did want to mention that back to this, that they did allocate some frequency to us. And if you guys want to check that out and see if your radios will do it. Look, you have no idea what I'm working on right now. I'm working on a musical spoof album for the ARRL. I've already got some of the songs made. I'm going to play it for you guys. None of it's going to be copyright because it's all going to be AI generated. And we're going to sit here and play the whole album one night. We'll play each song and talk about it. And I'm working on it right now. And I'm going to release it. And I'm going to actually release it as a real album. By the way, Trey Radel released his today. My host on my regular show. Yeah. He released his first album today. All AI generated. And he copyrighted it and released it like a regular album. It's amazing. All right. Yeah. I'm thinking some other spoof stuff too. Harmless stuff, but stuff that would be fun. All right. So anyway, are you waking up finally? Are you gonna come over and say hi to everybody? Don't give me that look. I brought dinner out. She didn't even want any. I'm a little worried about her. Nope, she laid back down in the box.
Hi, baby. Can you say hi to everybody?
That's her ham radio box I just brought her. She got something at the Ham Fest too. Oh, there she is. She got her ass up finally. I was starting to worry about you, big girl. You got dinner over there. You haven't even touched it yet. My goodness. My goodness. She's a crazy kitty. Yeah. She's turning white. She almost died like a month ago. This viral thing she had. Some kind of lung thing. 3 of them got it. There's a lot of cats in this neighborhood, and I end up feeding them all, which means they all bring their shit here. All right, so there we go. I don't know what's going on. It's like there's big protests tonight. It says big protest tonight. I don't see it. I haven't seen a little protest tonight, and I've actually been looking. Oh, Mama Kitty. What's wrong, baby girl? Yeah, she's very demanding. All right, so but yeah, that's the new allocation. But here's the kicker. They always kick you in the balls, don't they? We get secondary allocation, and you're only good up to, I don't know, what is it, 10 or 15 watts or something. It's ridiculous. You have to have a general license to do it. 15 watts EIRP, or 9.15 watts WERP. So however you want to figure that, it's going to be on a secondary basis. The amateur community must protect federal operations in the band, and we do not believe that the increased potential for harm. So in other words, they want you to use, you can use this new swath, but only up to 15 watts. So it's QRP. Yeah. No, it's not gigahertz, it's kilohertz. This is 60 meters. This is the new allocation in 60 meters. They're also retaining the existing channels that are already there. Remember, they gave us 60 a while back on these channels here, but now there's a swath of band that we can use. Now, the original channels there, those 4 channels, those can be done at 100 watts output. The new swath, which is not channelized, has to only be at 15 watts or less. So I just want to be clear about this so I'm not misleading anybody here. Okay? So there's the old 60 meters, which is those 4 channels basically. Nothing's changed. 100 watts, channelization, nothing's changed. The new piece that I just put in the frequency for, that new swath, not channelized, limited 15 watts. All right, I think everybody's got that now. Yeah, and remember something, whether you're a ham or not, whether you're in a marine boat, whatever, listen, if someone's life is truly in danger, I mean truly in danger, I don't mean, well, you know, got a flat tire on the highway. I mean someone who's really, they're bleeding out, there's life and death. You're allowed to get on any frequency to get help for that human. And you won't get in trouble for it. You can get on Marine 16 and call for a cop on land if a life is truly in danger, because that's technically illegal. You can't use Marine Band unless you're in a boat. There's a few exceptions, but you have to get licenses for that. Yeah, basically there's YouTubers that have live feeds up of something, but we don't know what. They're literally all in search of, and of course that one that says LA protests, it went out because they rode all around LA and couldn't find a protest, so they ended the stream. All right, guys, we're going to try this. We're going to take our first break. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures. I'm going to leave the screen up. I'm going to play the song. I'm going to roll your commercials, and you guys have to let me know how this works. because what I really want to do is I want to get it to where you guys we can get the commercials out of the way without them having to interrupt interrupt my monologue. I hate that. I really hate when that happens. So we are going to go to break real quick, guys. I'm going to hit the button to play the commercials now during the music. I'll be back in 3.5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. This is Starship Adventures. My name's Ian. The show continues in just a few minutes.
The sights and sounds of Earth. 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 The sights and sounds of
All right, there we go. I hope that worked out for everybody. That's funny, VTX, I got to admit. Oh, that's good. Heath, I don't know of anything like that, but you never know. They're nibbling away at what they gave us up in the microwave bands. It's true. But I also want you to notice the ARRL did not come out and take credit for this, because I don't think they had anything to do with it. I think the only lobbying they're doing's in the doctor's office. Yeah. Yeah, K6 ORJ. Thank you for coming in, man. Appreciate it. We are here just about every night. Yeah, that's cool. I've never used 60 up until I bought my FT710 a month ago with Heath. I had no I didn't even have a radio that would do 60. My other one requires me to go inside and solder shit. We all know what that does. That makes me go, no thank you. But I did get another radio. My FT100 won't do it either. But my new FT710 will do it. And now I don't know if, I don't know if it'll do that new swath. But I don't think I really care. Oh, they were mentioned? Oh, well, that's cool. I've been to 2 Hamfests now where I didn't see a single representative from the ARRL. Oh, what a joke. It's probably because they're paying that president $360,000 a year. I don't blame people for sending their money there. I just wish they realized it was a waste. It's just so corrupt. And people will even say, I know it's corrupt, but it's all we got. Yeah, but if you support something that's bad, it's never going to be better. We're never going to get something that's better. There is stuff out there right now. Excuse me, I'm going to look for a piece of paper. I mention this every so often because I don't hate anybody in the ARRL or anything, but I don't like the way the organization is run. I just don't. The National Amateur Radio Alliance. I think I'm going to get involved with these people. We need a new ARRL. I'm not saying you should leave the old one right now or whatever, but I'm just thinking I want at least a competition. Competition is healthy. There's a bunch of other ones out here too, not just this one. This is just, I met this guy that started this, and I think what I respected most about him is he wouldn't even badmouth the ARRL. He's just like, look, I want to just create an alternative. I want to create an alternative. I want to do it a different way. I want to do it without the $7 million in salaries. Let's see here. The seven, yeah. Yeah, I think it will. I know it'll do the 6 channels. I just wasn't sure if it'll do the swath. Play mute. I don't know what you mean, Heath. Yeah, Victor, I don't play the lottery, buddy. My luck's not good enough for that shit. I bought a bunch of antenna equipment over the weekend and none of it worked. That's the kind of luck I have, dude. Brand new shit. Bought from people I trust. Tower Electronics. Oh, by the way, did you guys see I released a new video? I have to re-release it. Do you believe that? I didn't realize it, but there was like 20 minutes of black air or dead air at the end. I'm like, oh, come on. But yeah, I did. I released a video. I'm going to re-release it tomorrow, but either way, you can watch it. It's on the Tampa Hamfest, and now I'm going to go back and I'm going to make a video out of the Atlanta Hamfest, a companion video for that. And a bunch of us are already planning to go to Hamcation coming up in Orlando. I don't know. I always thought it was a bit big and a bit gimmicky and the whole bit, but I kind of got the bug now to go to these things. And so I've kind of decided that I'm gonna go to Hamcation this year. It is February 13th through the 15th. It's one of the few 3-day Hamfests out there. It's in Orlando, Florida. Like I said, the second week in February. And yeah. Uh, yeah, I'll be re-releasing it. Only because they won't let me change the video once I release it. So what I have to do is I will re-release it tomorrow with all the same information and then just make the other one private. So I still keep the hits on it and everything. I'm not going to delete it. I just make it private. And then the one that's out there is the one that ends properly. It ends into a dead black screen, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. But then that black screen goes on for like 20 minutes. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, I've done this like twice before. What it is there's something way out an hour long down at the end of the thing, and I didn't realize it. And so since there's one thing down at the end, it makes the whole movie, you know? Yeah, I use Kdenlive, Kdenlive. If you guys have never edited video and you think it's something you probably couldn't do, you're probably wrong. I got to tell you guys, Kdenlive, 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 great program, free program. You download it. It's got everything built into it. And I could even give a tutorial one night or something, but I will tell you guys, Kdenlive is great. Kdenlive is great because you can edit all kinds of stuff. You can put in music. You can edit. I mean, it's really pretty. It is a little complicated, but it's not bad. I could show you in an hour how to use it. There's videos online that show you exactly how to use it, you know, it would be good if you something that would help a lot of people is to be able to edit video. But yep, I'm going to Hamcation. I'm going to Hamcation. Yep, I've decided. All right. Did those ads play and everything? Did it work? Let me know if that worked. Hey, Heath, something may be wrong. It's like dropping the last letter or last word or something. It was the music that may. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, I don't know what you're telling me, but that music was AI generated. It was made on a what was that? What was it called? We did it last night. Oh shit, Suno, I think it is. Yeah, it's called Suno. Yeah, it's that's not it. There it is. You just go to suno.com. Here's the link. Go there, make music, it's free. You can download a few a day. I told it the name of my show. I went into the other AI and asked the AI what I would need to tell the other AI to get it to make me a song that sounds like Pink Floyd without using the words Pink and Floyd. And so it did. It gave me a whole paragraph explaining what it wants. A 70s style psychedelic da 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 da. And I pasted that in and it made me that opener, which sounds very Shine on Crazy Diamonds, if you know what I mean. And so that's exactly what I wanted. It sounds just like I wanted. Within the first 8 songs I made, I had my opener. It's pretty easy. Now, you're not going to be stuck with that song 5 times a night, every night going forward. I'm actually rotating in some other songs. In fact, I will, let you remind me here. I'll go ahead and change the songs for the next break. And, because I have other ones here too. Pretty much the same thing, but different beat, a little bit mixed up, a little different. Yeah. Okay, good. What I'm trying to do. Yeah, I can't. All I can do is do what they tell me here, which is hit that button. Um, okay. All right. Well, Jungle, we're gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep doing it that way because I do think it does work for some people. You guys will just keep a track of it. We'll see how it works. But I'm only gonna do it 2 or 3 times a show. I'm gonna take a break. It helps me to walk around a little bit and get up out of this chair. But for some of you, it will allow your ads to play while the music's playing. So hopefully that will happen. I think they're still working on this system. I don't think it works perfectly. Now, I want to talk about this hype thing. I haven't really looked it up yet. They sent me something on it, and I read it, and it's like, okay, here's what you have to do to, you got to hype your video. And do you guys see how you do that on the video somewhere? Is that where it's done? You guys, if someone... Because I want to figure this out. Okay, so on YouTube, how do I hype a video? To hype a video on YouTube, use the mobile app to find recent video under 7 days old from an eligible small creator, 500 to 500,000 subs. Swipe the comment preview. Tap the hype button to award points, helping it climb the leadership board and get noticed by the algorithm, with viewers getting limited free hypes a week. To hype you, open the app, find the video, look for the recent video within 7 days, hit the hype button, swipe left. Okay, for creators. Says it should be auto enabled already. I think mine is. Can you do it to lives? It says uploaded videos. So each of you only gets so many of these a week. That's how they're doing this. You only get so many of these a week, so you have to decide who you're going to give them to. Yeah, no, I saw that 4 or 5 of you guys had responded. I appreciate that. It says it's primarily a mobile feature for viewers. So it may not be available the way most of us watch YouTube, I guess. It may not be available. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This play ad button may or may not be working. We're going to try it again here. We'll try it again in another 20 minutes or so. Yeah, I've got a little bit of time this week. Not a lot, but I've got some time. Tomorrow when I get up, I got to finish putting the studio back together, but I'm also going to try to get I'm going to fix the Tampa Hamfest video and re-upload it, and then I'm also going to make the Atlanta Hamfest video, which all I do is go in and chop it all up to where it's just the good parts, and I put like the websites and stuff on there so you can find the vendors. And yeah, Heath, the name tag lady, and also the Tower Electronics lady were both there talking to each other. And I walked up and I said, imagine meeting both of you guys here. Because I had just spoke to both of them at the Atlanta Hamfest. And we stood there and talked for like 15 minutes. They're the nicest people. Okay, well, thanks, Deploribus. Okay, so anyway, Yeah, so it was fun. There's a lot of those vendors go to each, they go to one after another. Every weekend, it's a new location. And it's a decent life. I would love to do it. You get to go to a new town each week. You get to go home on Monday. You get to spend the week at your house getting ready for the next weekend, loading, packing, preparing, shipping, all the different things that you need to do to be ready, buying new parts, setting up new bends. They've got really great bends that just the lids go on them and they all get loaded into a truck. They've probably got, a decent sized cube truck, I would assume, and they back it up in there and they unload it, they load it. They've got every part you can imagine. I'm talking about Tower Electronics. Tower Electronics. They've got every part you could want. Every part. I don't even think they sell online. I don't think they sell retail. All they do is go to ham events. That's it. That's all they do. But you go in there, they got every kind of power pole. They got every kind of antenna connection. They got every kind of antenna adapter. I mean, literally all that kind of stuff. And it's all brand new equipment. Of course, there's plenty of places that have all used equipment too. All right. I think that this protesting's pretty much over with. I mean, I don't see anything going on with that anymore. Um, I don't even know what's going on with that. I think it's about done. I don't know. I can't tell. Let me take a quick peek and see if I can find something to put there real quick. In the meantime, you guys tell me of any topics you want me to bring up or any questions you have. Uh, Go ahead and bring it up now, and I'll see if I can answer those too. I'm probably going to be going off in about 30 minutes. Every video on YouTube now is AI. I don't even know what to believe anymore. I really don't. I'm being serious. You can flip through shorts now. They're all AI. All these cats reacting to cat cakes. I'm not buying it. All right, I'm looking. There is just nothing going on tonight. I don't know where this. I don't know what he's. What? Washington weather chasers. Apparently there is some flooding out there going on. Okay, so let's do this. We'll put that up here. We'll keep an eye on him for a few minutes. Okay, give me just a second to set this. Says he's chasing weather out in Washington State and it's flooding and things and shit. Heath, I'll make sure I edit it to where we both don't look so bad, okay? It'll be fine. uh, the Bob Barker videos, of all the AI videos I've seen, there's a lot of funny shit. That Becky, those are funny. There's a lot of funny stuff on there. But I gotta tell you guys, probably the funniest ones I've seen so far are Bob Barker. Yeah. Yeah, Bob Barker. Brings it. He's walking this woman up. He goes, I want to show you our brand new game called the Glory Hole. He goes, you stand here and I stand back over here. Oh my God. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong with his world? You know, I used to be able to eat ravioli. I used to love ravioli. I've gotten out of where I don't like ravioli. It tastes like shit now. I bought a can of that a while back. I'm like, well, I used to like this. You know, I used to like it. How bad can it be, right? And I got some. It was shit. It tasted like shit. Yeah, K6, you're right. I do too. I'm always perplexed with whether it's real or not. You got to look for little blurry spots and stuff. There's different ways, but yep. Oh, I want to show you guys something. As Heath knows, I went out to the Atlanta Ham Fest, and within 5 minutes, I'd already bought a radio. It was a M2500 Yaesu mil spec, really cool, older style 25-year-old radio that was in mint condition. The potentiometers on the front, which always go bad on those particular radios, are in mint shape. 50 watts, amazing 2-meter radio. Very happy with it, and it works great. I was going to leave it at the cabin, and I fell in love with it and ended up bringing it home. It's right up there. You can see it glowing up there on 2-meter call channel right now up on the 40-foot mast. And I like that because I like that radio so much, I decided I'm going to put a shelf right here that goes diagonal right here, right below the air conditioner. There's going to be a shelf that goes all the way over, and that monitor will go up on top of there. And then underneath that shelf, I'm going to hang my base radios. And so I'm working on what my base radios are going to be. And so I've decided that M2500 is going to be one of my base radios. I've got another radio up here that is a Yaesu as well, and it is a 75-watt 2-meter radio. So I'm going to end up putting both of those up there side by side. One's going to be for 2-meter call. The 75-watt one, all it'll do is 2-meter call. It'll say on that 24/7 at 75 watts on the tall tower. On the next one over, I will have the mil-spec radio there, and it will be for my local repeaters on 2 meters. And then I got my UHF radio. Yeah, I haven't cleaned it yet. She needs a bath. But this is my new base radio for UHF. And guess what? Joseph has the programmer and the programming cables for this. It's already programmed with the 16 GMRS channels. So it's already got something in it. But I'm going to be reprogramming this to have specific stuff in it, like SARNet, NI4CE, my local 440 repeaters, and several other things that are on 440 as well. This is going to end up being my 440 base radio. It's 440 and it puts out 40 watts. It's a Motorola Max Track. These are the same ones we had in the fire trucks, and it works. We've already fired it up. We've tested it. It works. Motorola Max Track. And while I was there, I walked across the aisle to Tower Electronics, and I bought the Mini UHF, which is a Motorola plug, Mini UHF to UHF PL239, and I bought that, and I bought a set of these plugs so that I've got everything I need to make this radio work. Still has the really nice Motorola mic. This one they called the Motorola Mini because it's a little bit smaller than the actual full-size palm mic, which I may eventually change this out because I like the full-size ones. But these were nice too. I love a Motorola mic, and I love the sound quality that comes out of a Motorola radio. It's unparalleled. Anyway, this is going to be my base radio now in here for UHF, and I've already got the antenna outside on the roof for it. It's going to be at about 20 feet, which is all I'm going to need because I'm hitting repeaters, basically. I'm not using it as a call channel. But those are going to be my 3 base radios, and then the 4th radio up there is going to be my 2-meter all band. I'm going to get it hooked back up and get it hooked up to that horizontally polarized 5-element Yagi that I've got facing north-northwest. And hopefully I can start making some more contacts on 2-meter horizontally polarized 2-meter sideband. You know, Callie, there was a time when I loved it. I never liked the spaghetti in a can. I never liked the macaroni in a can. I never liked the beefaroni in a can. However, I liked the ravioli, especially if I had some Parmesan cheese to go on top. But the last two, I've tried it like 10 years ago. Thought maybe I was sick or something because it really tasted like shit. And then just a little while ago, like about maybe 5-6 months ago, I bought a can of it thinking, hey, this is an alternative. I get sick of food. I'm a very picky eater. So I get sick of food. I'm like, I can't even look at those 12 things I eat ever again. And I think, you know, I'm going to die because I can't eat now that I don't like anything. Yes. Yeah, this mic's very old, and it still feels new and very good. Very happy with that. Anyway, so yeah, so I get tired of food, so I tried to get that ravioli and say, okay, I'm gonna try something different. Yuck. Chef Boyardee, don't. Okay, so where are we at? What we got? Okay. All right, guys. I have a few more things. No big deal. Let's see here. Yeah, they were. I had at one time I owned about 6 of those MOCOM 70s, the 2-channel MOCOM 70s, and I actually got some of them working. When I first became a volunteer firefighter, I was 17 years old, and I was so interested in the radios that I went and got manuals from the Motorola, and that showed me how to rebuild. The guy had some old manuals, and I found these old radios and figured out what I had to do to get them working. There was these little PL boards in there, and what it was, the radio itself would not send the PL tone because it was too old. But they made these little boards about this big that were about 20-year newer technology, and this board had 3 wires coming out of it, and if you connected those wires correctly, if you soldered them correctly in the radio, it would then, everything that radio transmits would have that one tone. You couldn't change it. It was the same tone on every channel, but at least you could open the repeaters up. Since our entire county used 136.5 or whatever it is, it wasn't a problem. And I realized that the reason that the people were getting rid of these, they weren't working, was because these little boards had become disconnected. So I started cleaning these radios up, fixing the boards, getting them all working, and I started installing them in the volunteers' vehicles. You know, they'd shoot me a little bit of money. I'd go out and buy some parts. I'd get another one going. And next thing you know, I had 6 or 7 of these things going. I used to get the light bars from the highway patrol, through the station, of course. And we would get 20 of the old light bars. And I'd turn around and cut them down and make mini bars out of them and shit. And I'd turn around and I would give them back to the cops in town to put in their back window as deck lights and shit. I was very much into the lights, the sirens, the radios, and I was always innovating. I was making split color dash lights 5 years before the Dash Laser came out with the first tricolor or dual color dash light. I was taking a light made by Mars Signal Corporation that was a rotating beacon, was a parabolic, okay? And I took that and I would buy an extra lens. If I'd buy a red one, and I would buy a blue lens, okay? And then when they would come in, I would cut the red lens in half with a hacksaw. We had a bandsaw. I'd bandsaw that bitch in half. I'd take the blue lens, I'd bandsaw that bitch in half, and then I would silicone the 2 pieces together, and then I'd run 2 pieces of blue tape over it, and I'd shoot it with a little bit of spray paint. It looked freaking mint. It looked professional. And then I would take that lens and put it on the light. Now it shines red to the front and blue to the back. Why is that significant? Well, because you buy the mirror thing that goes on it like this. So now it's going blue, red, blue, blue, red, blue, blue, red, blue, and it's giving you a dual color dash light. Now, I know by today's standards, this is stupid. What are we even talking about here? But back then, this shit was cutting edge, man. We're talking like the late 80s, early 90s, okay? We're talking about back when LEDs were that little weak light in the front of your VCR. We're talking about a time when everything was halogen at that point, and strobe lights were just becoming popular, which I never was a fan of the strobe light, and I could get into that, but that's for another day. I was a rotating beacon guy myself. But it was cool because the cops were buying these lights from me. I would buy them from Galls. And when they would come in, I would take the red and the blue and cut them. And then I would then have 2 more halves. So while I was making the first one, I'd go ahead and make up another one. So I'd have 2 sets of lenses, red and blue lenses. And then I started buying these lights and buying them in all different colors. And people would tell me what colors they wanted. The volunteers were buying them in red and clear. One of the guys wanted one because it shone to the back and the front, so he wanted it yellow in the back, red in the front. There was another guy, a bunch of them were state troopers, and they wanted clear and blue, and the deputies wanted red and blue. So I was making these lights in all different colors, and I wasn't making a lot of money on them. I did it because I loved to do it. I charged them $5 or $10 more than I paid for it to cover my little bit of labor and to keep me going, buying parts and shit. But I love doing stuff like that. No, nobody uses that anymore. You know, pew! That new radio I bought that you guys told me about in here, what is it? I can't remember the name of it. Radtel or whatever it is. I think it's Radtel. I took it with me over the weekend. I used it at the Hamfest. I listened to Tampa Tower on it. Was listening to planes and shit. And I was talking to people at the Hamfest on it. I was talking to people at the community we were staying at and everything. It was really cool. And I really like that radio. But there's something you got to do. if you're sitting there and you're listening, if you got one of these Radtel radios and it's going and it makes that little clicking noise while you're receiving, you can fix that. You turn off the RSS thing in there. Just look it up. Look it up. Radtel 880 clicking while receiving. It'll come right up what to do, and it will fix that. The triple receive works great. We were playing around with the crossband repeat a little bit. It works. We were even like playing around with the sideband stuff, and it's kind of funky, wonky, but it works. We were receiving FT8 on like 20 meters. It was like great. It was like, I couldn't believe all the stuff we could do with it. No, Kevin, I don't. What are they, like Federal Signal or Wheeling? Those were the two big ones, Federal and Wheeling. Code 3 was making them too, which is PSE, Public Safety Equipment. But those are the three big ones that were making sirens. Biggest maker of sirens was Federal Signal. They were the ones that made most of the big wind-up sirens too. But no, I don't know anybody that can fix them. Oh, there you go. Well, someone does still use it. Yeah, you worked on them when they were new. Wow, you're older than me. Yeah, Mocom 70s, man. They were old when I started messing with them. I love those. The worst part was sticking all the little wires in the back. There was 48 different wires, and you had to have every single wire stuck in the right hole. They did that, if you remember, so that you could get the wire harness through a small hole. So in order to do that, they only put a plug on one end. The other end was just 48 individual, or 48-ish individual wires that stuck into the back. That's the same radio, by the way, that you see on Adam 12. That's the same radio that you see on Emergency, and the same radio you see on Dragnet. They used that same Motorola Mocom 70. It was either the 1-channel, the 2-channel, or the 4-channel model. The 4-channel model had the third knob. Yeah, I love my old Motorola equipment. It's just fun. I wish I still had some of that. I still have my power head off my Meritrack. I don't know how I kept it, but I still have the actual control head off my old Meritrack. Oh, really? Well, that's pretty cool. No squelch tails. Yeah, there's a lot, that's what's cool about radios, man. It's become pretty inexpensive. This was $40. I talked him down to 35. So, I like it because you can get a lot of money and spend a lot of money like I did, but you don't have to. I didn't spend a lot of money for a long time. I just now bought my first HF rig. I've been a ham for 5 years. I just bought my first HF rig. Oh, okay. Yeah, the dipole adapter. Dipoles work about the best. Yeah, Emergency. The show that probably got me into firefighting. I watched that show and wanted to be a firefighter. I did. I watched Adam 12 and kind of wanted to be a cop, but I really watched Emergency and wanted to be a firefighter. And I grew up and became a firefighter. That's what I wanted to be. I knew in high school I was going to be a firefighter. I might have been in the Explorer Scout program at the Sheriff's Department, but I was going to be a firefighter. That's what I was going to be. Yeah. Yeah, that pinning in the back was something else. It's funny, in some of the old movies and stuff, you see the radio mounted on the dashboard, and you can see all the holes in the back, and there's no wires stuck in them. They just mounted the head up on the dashboard. Really? Newland. The government generally used to always use Motorola, but not always. We had some Midland equipment, Midland LMR. It was pretty good stuff. Wow. That's great. I've never even seen anything like that, Deploribus. You know, Eyes, it's very dated, but that's what makes it fun. Um, I love Emergency. I love the cast and the crew. I think the show was amazing. The old trucks and stuff to me are characters. And just know when you watch that show that Squad 51, both Engine 51s, and the Mayfair ambulance are all in the LA Fire Museum. The actual original trucks that are in that show exist today, and you can go to LA if you want to cross enemy lines and go to California. You can go there and you can actually go into the Fire Museum and actually see the original Squad 51 with much of the original equipment still there. I don't know if you guys know the story about that truck. LA County was just putting their first paramedic system in service. They were just starting it. And that's why Jack Webb, the guy that created Dragnet and Adam 12, had decided, hey, I want to create a show about firefighting, but I want to center it around the paramedic portion. Not that they didn't burn down at least one house a week, but they wanted to center it around the rescue slash paramedic program, not just the guys with the air packs on, which I thought was kind of cool because you ended up getting to see the hospital, you got to see the rescue, you got to see the engine, you got to see the guys on the aerial truck, you got to see the truckies, you got to see everybody. But it was really centered around the two guys in the rescue squad, which was the new program that they were starting. LA County Fire was starting the first paramedic program in the country. And this show came along a very short time later. And so what they did was they built a rescue squad. They had it built. And they had it built exactly like the 6 or so rescue squads that were in service. Right down to that one white strobe light that you see on top of the twin sonic light bar that's on top. That's a twin sonic light bar. It's got the 2 sealed beams on each side, triple mirrors, and of course it's a California package light bar, which means it has the one California constant in the front, the one flashing yellow in the back. That makes it compliant with California's California red light constant law. Okay, so anyway, right down to that, and the little strobe on the top, which was for a traffic light system they put in. It never actually was hooked up. It was just on there. The spotlights, the way they had the air tanks, it was built to be exactly like their rescue squad. Exactly. Well, after the show went off the air, LA Fire bought that, running legitimate actual rescue calls for LA Fire. And the guys were apparently over the moon. What the hell happened? Hold on, guys. I don't know what just happened, but we just had some kind of bandwidth fall off or something. Okay, I don't... Something happened here, guys. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to get rid of some shit here. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out. I had some kind of bandwidth drop here. It told me I was offline for a brief time. So I'm just trying to get rid of shit I don't need running. Alright, that's better. Okay, so anyway, I guess you guys can still hear me. Am I live? Yeah, that LA protest when he went off the air. All right, so anyway, just to finish this story up, I am going to be going off here in just a few minutes. But just to finish this up, yeah, I don't know what happened. Everything just blanked out. I think my internet went off for a short time or something. Yeah, the LA protest when he just went off the air. So anyway, that squad that was used for Squad 51, that was a studio-owned prop, was actually a real fire truck at the end. It actually gained status as an actual real fire truck, and then was sent to the museum, where it is cared for today meticulously. And then the engine, there was the open cab, or the city cab engine as they called it, and then later there was the Ward LaFrance with the closed cab. The closed cab had the canopy in the back for the guys and a full closed cab in the front. That truck, both of those trucks were actual fire trucks, and they leased them from the fire department when they needed them. And that's why every now and then in certain episodes, if you look closely, you can tell that's not the real Engine 51. It's a little different. There's something wrong with it. And it's because every now and then, you know how they did that? They made magnets that fit over the round numbers on the doors. They actually had magnets that were cut the exact same size as the numbers on the door. And so when they would borrow a truck, they would run out there and just stick 51 on all of it, and boom, it was Engine 51. You see what I'm saying? And if they needed to show engines coming into a fire, they would put ladder 12. They'd put 12s on the ladder truck and drive it by the camera. Then they would drive it around the block again, take the 12s off and put 19s on and drive it by the camera again. Now they got 2 ladders on scene. That's literally how they used to shoot the show. But Jack Webb was meticulous, as someone just said in the chat room. He was meticulous about it being realistic and it being right and factual in the way they actually did it. So when you watch that and you see them say, you know, start a line, D5W TKO, you know, with 2 amps of blah, blah, blah. When they say all that, that's real medical jargon. They had a doctors working on the show, and they made sure that the paramedic jargon and the doctor jargon that Dr. Brackett, Dr. Early, and Dix McCall down at the hospital, all the language that they used was all real. It was all legitimate. All the bullshit they were doing was the way they did it back then. So when you watch those ER scenes and they're doing CPR and all these different things, you're seeing how they did it in 1974. I mean, it's pretty crazy. We can go back and actually see how they did it 50 years ago, because Jack Webb was so meticulous about making that show realistic. And the same with Adam 12 and Dragnet as well. But that's why it got me into it. It got me into it something fierce. I ended up on the high angle rescue team for a while, rappelling and ropes and all that. Because they did that on the show. I loved it. I wanted to get the ropes. I wanted to get up on the roof, man. Let's do it. I've rappelled off of 10-story buildings. I've done it. It's crazy stuff. And you know something? It's because of that show. It's because of that show. No, they did not have special effects for the fire. It was all done. A lot of it was done with smoke machines. But a lot of it was done with actual fire. They would burn bales of hay in barrels to create large amounts of smoke. And then they would wet the hay while it's burning. They would put a little bit of water down in there and it would make steam and smoke. They would get houses that were being demolished because of termites or because of storm damage or because of whatever, because they were building a highway. California tore a lot of houses down back then. They still do. And what the Okay, it says I'm back. I don't know what's going on, guys. It's a flux tonight. We've only gotten about a third of the numbers we normally get on an average night. So I'm wondering if something weird's going on. I'm getting ready to sign off anyway, guys. It's been a long day. I got an early morning, but it's mostly out here. I'm just going to come out and I got to get the studio back together and do a bunch of stuff like that. So, yep. Yeah, that was a crown, wasn't it? I knew the second one was Award La France. I wasn't sure on the first one. It was a crown. Hey, no problem. Yeah, we'll talk more about Emergency. I could talk about Emergency all night. It's one of my favorite non-science fiction shows of all time. And I love the cast. I love Kevin Tighe and Randolph Mantooth that played the two rescue guys. They were the best. And yeah, somebody said it. Last I heard, Randolph was still doing cons. Conventions. Yeah, the other kind of con. Yeah, I don't know what's going on tonight, guys. I don't think it's me, because my computer seems to be fine. It's the interface with YouTube, so it's probably internet between me and YouTube, or it's the YouTube ingest server having a problem. I don't know. Well, thanks, Heath. I'll definitely pass that along to her. I saw her earlier today. We went and had lunch at Perkins. And then I took her to a Habitat for Humanity. Those are the thrift stores that we like the best. That's where most of the screens you see in the studio come from. About 12 different Habitat for Humanity stores that I shop at. As a matter of fact, I just this weekend, someone gave me another 50-inch TV. I think I got 3 of them in there now. Isn't that weird? Yeah, there's something weird going on, guys. We're going to call it. It's all good. I'm going to play this as a little bit different song this time. I'm going to play this to go out. Another thing I'm doing now, instead of just ending the stream, I'm going to play a nice long song at the end. So that way you guys can say goodnight, finish talking, make any connections you need to make, and know that you don't have to rush, because I'm not going to end the stream in 1 second or anything like that. Okay, so there we go. Guys, I am going to go ahead and get going. I got to tell you, it's been fun tonight. I do appreciate you guys being here live from the Starship Studios in Southwest Florida. This has been yet another edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on Starship Adventures. I hope you guys join us again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for our regular show. And of course, join us anytime news breaks right here on Starship Adventures. Please hit the bell, because anything that's done on this channel is me live, either here or out in the vehicle. So please hit that like and subscribe on this channel, and hit the like over on Starship After Dark. Hit the subscribe, Starship After Dark. Okay, that's it, everybody. We're going to see you guys tomorrow night, and live from North Fort Myers, Florida, on YouTube, the largest broadcast platform in the world. Glass all the way to the internet. Here we go, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. And I don't know, maybe that glass got knocked down tonight or something. Maybe that's what's wrong. I don't know. But we'll see you guys all later. Have a good night out there and a safe tomorrow. 7-3s, everybody. 7-3s.
Sights and sounds of Earth. The sights and sounds of Earth. The sights